Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my 2023 TBR. These are books that are either on hold at the library or that I was going to show you, but the pile is over there. Or that I already have. And I've been meaning to get to them, but I just haven't, and I just have to get to them because I refuse to have books in my bookshelf that I have not read yet. This video is going to be pretty long, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. I want to read all of, I actually am more interested in the Last Hour series for Cassandra Clare. Please tell me if I need to read any other series for me to understand the Last Hour series, because I don't want to waste my time reading the other ones if I don't have to, but if I have to, I will. Okay, then I have Belladonna, a highly romantic, gothic-infused world of wealth, desire, and betrayal. It is a fantasy, mystery, and gothic thriller. And they're coming out with a second book on August 22 of this year, so obviously I want to read the first one before that one comes out. Then another book that is coming out this year that I want to read, but I have to read the first one first, is the prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. That one is like this big, like probably like the size of my head, so it's very intimidating, but I do want to read the second one, A Day of the Fallen Knight, which will come out in February 28th this year. So I have to read the first one first, obviously, and it's pretty long, so I'll probably do audiobook, I'm not even gonna lie. Then we have Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. It says, hypnotic, propulsive, and utterly transporting, Ariadne forges a new epic, one that puts the forgotten woman of Greek mythology back at the heart of the story as they strive for a better world. I'm here for the feminism, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna love this book. Okay, then I have These Violent Delights, story about two college students each with his own troubled past, whose escalating obsession with one another leads to an act of unspeakable violence. That's enough for me to want to read it. And I also want to finish Mariana Zapata's backlist. I have a few, but like the only ones that I have left that I do want to finish is Wait for It and Under Lock. I also want to finish Taylor Jenkins Reid's backlist. I have two left. I have Maybe in Another Life. Is two storylines with the guy and without the guy. Basically, like, based how much this decision is gonna change her life. So like whether she's gonna leave with the guy or she's gonna leave without the guy. Like she's like, I think at a party. Whatever she chooses to do is gonna change her life completely, and then you see both timelines, I guess, like parallel timelines. It's basically like about how much every decision matters. And then the other one is After I Do, and then this is I think like a 1 year break for a marriage. Like they just want to see if they're still in love with each other, so they take like a break of 1 year. Then I want to read Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. I want to read the Throne of Glass series. That one I'm starting this week and I'm filming it, so I'm gonna do a vlog about it. I want to read the From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This one has 4 books in the series so far, and I think she's coming out with more. I want to read at least all 4 this year. Then I want to read the Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle Jensen. I think this is a Kindle Unlimited series. Then I have How Do You Live by Genzaburo Yoshino. So basically like Hayao Miyazaki, which is, if you guys don't know, like Spirited Away, like these, if you guys have seen this, I'm sure you guys have seen this, or this character. If you guys are not aware of Studio Ghibli, I'm sure you guys have at least seen these characters, or like this one, you know, like from Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service. So basically the guy who made those movies, I think he said he's retired like twice and he always comes back, but he's coming back to redo this book in a movie, and obviously I want to watch the movie, so I want to read the book first, so that's why it is in my TBR. He has called it his favorite childhood book and announced plans to emerge from retirement to make it the basis of a final film. I don't know, I feel like, didn't he say that already once, that he wasn't gonna make any more movies? I don't know. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Then I have Honey and Spice by Bolu Bababola. So this one, it says, is a debut novel full of passion, humor, and heart that centers on a young black British woman who has no interest in love and unexpectedly finds herself caught up in a fake relationship with a man she warned her girls about. I have this on audiobook. They had like a sale, like 2 for 1 or something like that. I picked up this one, and then I also picked up The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, which is another one that I want to read. How beautiful is this cover? This is not the original cover. This is like a special edition cover. Like, this is the original cover, but I'm hoping that I can put my hands on this one once I read it and hopefully love it. Then I have a science fiction, which I'm not into, but I feel like when I read what this book was about, I was like, yes, I want to read this. So it's called The Kaiju Preservation Society by Joan Scalzi. It says, when C-19 sweeps through New York City, Jamie Gray is stuck as a dead-end driver for food delivery apps. That is, until Jamie makes a delivery to an old acquaintance, Tom, who works at what he calls an animal rights organization. Dinosaur-like creatures on another dimension. It's not just the Kaiju Preservation Society that's found its way to an alternate world, but others have too, and their carelessness could cause millions back on our Earth to die. Exactly. Then we have Hidden Pictures. I think this actually won a Goodreads award, or it was nominated, but it was in the Goodreads award, so obviously I want to read it. It says, a mystery about a woman working as a nanny for a young boy with strange and disturbing secrets. What did I say about creepy kids? I'm here for it. I want to read all of Alice Feeney, or at least like her favorite, like her top ones. So I'll insert pictures here. I don't know what they're about, but I don't remember who, but like I heard someone rave about it, so about her, so I want to read her books. And then I also have the City Brass trilogy. This one I read mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it, so I want to like at least read the first one and see if I want to keep like going with it, or if I'm going to DNF it. I just want to give it a chance. Then I have No Exit, so this one, just listen to this. A brilliant, edgy thriller about 4 strangers, a blizzard, a kidnapped child, and a determined young woman desperate to unmask and outwit a vicious psychopath. With exquisitely controlled pacing, Taylor Adams diabolically ratchets up the tension with every page, full of terrifying twists and hairpin turns. No Exit will have you on the edge of your seat and leave you breathless. Yes, please. Then I have The One by Joan March. How far would you go to find the one? A simple DNA test is all it takes. Just a quick mouth swab, and soon you'll be matched with your perfect partner, the one you're genetically made for. The One is a fascinating novel that shows how even the simplest discoveries can have complicated consequences. Yes. And then last but definitely not least, I have Bliss Montage by Ling Ma. So those are just like short, like not short stories, but like I'm assuming they're short because they're all in one book. It's 8 of them. So short stories about life that would make you have some thoughts. So the first book I have is How to Love the World, Poems of Gratitude and Hope. It says, how to love the world is for every one of us who welcomes or misses the fullness of joy and the wholeness of days. So I feel like, especially for like the type of world that we live in right now, I feel like it's really easy to feel a little bit hopeless. So these have like poems in them that are supposed to basically make me feel better. So yeah, this is one of my poetry books for this year. Then I have The Perfect Nanny by Leila Slimani. My husband actually got me this book for a Christmas, and that's why it's like one of those how do you say this, like mass produced, you know what I'm talking about, like the smaller versions of books that you find like at Costco or whatever. So anyways, this is I think a thriller, and my husband got it for me, so I don't want to know what it's about. Sometimes like for thrillers, I don't want to know what they're about, so. Then I have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. So this girl moves to Maine to find basically peace. She has hope to find peace. And then it says, on her first day there, her life collides with Archer Hale, an isolated man who holds a secret agony of his own, a man no one else sees. Archer's Voice is the story of a woman chained to the memory of one horrifying night, and the man whose love is the key to her freedom. It is the story of a silent man who lives with an excruciating wound, and the woman who helps him find his voice. I was looking at my hair like getting caught. Anyways, find his voice. It's a story of suffering, fate, and the transformative power of love. I heard about this book making me, like, it's gonna make me cry, and I'm here for it. My cousin got me this book for Christmas, so I'm pretty excited about it. Then I have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. When Shane and Eva meet unexpectedly at a literary event, sparks fly, raising not only their past buried traumas, but the eyebrow of New York's Black literary. What no one knows is that 20 years earlier, teenage Eva and Shane spent one crazy torrid week madly in love. They may be pretending that everything is fine now, but they can't deny their chemistry or the fact that they've been secretly writing to each other in their books ever since. Like, I'm here for books about people who write. Like, yes. People who write. Writers. Suhail, writers. They have a name. Thank you. Then I have A Little Life by Hanya Janagihara. I know this is a story about a group of friends in New York City and they're like basically struggling. I hear that people sob with this book. It's also really thick and it's one of those like, you know, nice floppy books. Ugh, I love it. I can be doing this for days. It just feels so good to hold a book like this. I love it. Honestly, I'm more motivated about the experience of reading this book that's so like nice than like the actual story. I saw this video recently and a lot of people gave her this book as her favorite book of her, like their whole entire lives. So I am definitely looking forward to it. What I've heard is that it has a lot to do with like depression and being suicidal and stuff like that. So I feel like as someone who has been through that, I feel like the more I relate to a book, the more emotional I will get. So I am expecting to sob reading this. Then I have The Midnight Library. I have owned this book since it came out and people raved about it and I still have not read it. I have started it on audiobook, but I think I was like in a slump and then my audiobook, like I rented it through the library and it expired before I was out of my slump, so I wasn't able to read it. Sometimes when I have audiobooks in the library and I know I have the physical copy, I'm like, well, I'm not in a hurry because if I don't get to it, I always have the physical copy so I can get to it whenever I'm in the mood, you know? So that's kind of like what happened and then I was never in the mood, I guess, because I forgot about it. Then I have this one. This one is called Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. So this one says that it's a love story about a Craigslist misconnection post that gives two people a second chance at love 15 years after they were separated in New York City. All you had to do was say New York City and I was in. Then I'm gonna try to read the Magnolia Park series or Magnolia Park World. I know that they're not all about Magnolia Parks, but they're coming out with more this year, so obviously I want to get to it. This is kind of like Gossip Girl. It's toxic, but it's like apparently like it has like cheating, like not in the book but like in the past. I guess she finds out that like he cheated or something like that. So like if you were not someone that will forgive cheating or you can't look past it, at least in books, you don't have to like forgive cheating in real life to forgive it in books, you know what I mean? So anyways, if you're not able to look past that to enjoy a book, maybe this is not the book for you. And it's also very toxic. So like imagine, it has been compared to Chuck and Blair from Gossip Girl before, basically, but in London. So like, you know how like they're like the high society whatever in New York? It's the same thing but like in London. Then we have The Night Circus. This one is by Erin Morgenstern and it is a love story. It is a fantasy romance. So obviously I hate how the ring light like can I just get the cover? Thank you. Anyways, I read great things about this. Chloe on YouTube, she raved about this book for a while and it is what made me want to read it. So yeah, and she loved The Spanish Love Deception, which I'm not saying it's the same thing, but like I feel like we have the same taste in romance. She did not like the American Roommate Experiment though. Then I have House of Earth and Blood, which is the Crescent City series. This is the first book. There's another book not coming out, it's already out. It's a thick one. It's a thick one and it's a stiff one. I think I'm gonna read this on ebook. Or like I'll do like both ebook and audiobook because first of all, this is way too big. Like I feel like if I read this in person, it will take me like a whole week and I like reading more than one book a week. So this is gonna be basically a half audiobook, half ebook situation, and then I'll transfer the annotations from ebook to here. But I'm very excited about it. From all of Sarah J Maas series, I feel like this is the one that most people like. People always find something wrong with Throne of Glass, something wrong with A Court of Thorns and Roses, but like that one is the only one that I've read or heard people talk about it equally. A lot of people like it. Then we have Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. So this one says, when a traditional Latinx family has problem accepting his gender, Jadriel becomes determined to prove himself a real brujo. With the help of his cousin, he performs the ritual himself and then sets out to find the ghost of his murdered cousin and set it free. But he ends up getting like a guy from high school from the dead, and then basically there's like a relationship between them. I don't know their sexuality, but I know it's a queer relationship. Heavy topics like LGBTQ+, acceptance, deportation, colonization, and racism. Yes. I thought it was more about like the Hispanic toxicity. I didn't know that it touched on deportation, colonization, and racism. So now I'm even more excited to read it, and I think I will bump it up in my TBR list. Like, I think I'm gonna read it at the beginning of the year because yes, I love me a book about society. Then I have Circe by Madeline Miller. She is the author of The Song of Achilles, and I hear really good things about this book. I was not a fan of The Song of Achilles. It's actually in my Pango books if you guys want to buy it. Link is down below. Not me, like with a shameless plug of my Pango books. But anyways, I hear that a lot of people that didn't like Song of Achilles like this one better. So I'm giving this one a chance because I did not love The Song of Achilles. Then we have The Other Black Girl by Sakil Delilah Harris. This is a story about a girl that works in an office and she's the only black girl, and then out of nowhere there's another black girl coming in, and obviously as someone who, like, whenever I see someone Hispanic, I automatically, you know, like, I see you, we're here together, you know what I mean? Like, as someone who feels that whenever I see someone that's Hispanic as well, I get it. So the black girl saw the other black girl and she was like, whoa, another one like me. So when she tries to befriend her and everything, I don't know much about the book obviously, so don't quote me on that, but like, I think that when she tries to befriend her and like get close to her, she ends up being like not what she thought. I don't know if she's gonna be like a whitewashed black girl or if she's gonna be just like pick me or something. I don't know what the situation, like, what is the other black girl doing that is not clicking with the original black girl, but basically it's not what she expected. There's not like the friendship that she expected. So, and she's like, I think she's kind of shady, like the other black girl, she's kind of shady. So yeah, anyways, that's what the story is about, and I'm excited about it. It doesn't really have good reviews on Goodreads. I don't think that most of my top reads of 2022 have the best ratings on Goodreads, so that's why I kind of like, you know, pick and choose. But yeah, I don't think that one has good reviews. Then I have My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This one is about a couple who basically, like, they've been married. I don't know if they've been married. Are they married? Every marriage has secrets. Everyone has flaws. Your wife isn't perfect, you know that. But then again, neither are you. You fell in love, you had kids, you moved to the suburbs, you told each other your biggest dreams and your darkest secrets, and then you got bored. We all have our secrets to keep marriage alive. Ours just happens to be getting away with murder. Then we have Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Boylan. So this one is, Olivia had the perfect life until her husband showed a dark side and her son had to move back home. Asher falls for the new girl Lily. Lily is dead and Asher is being questioned. She sees flashes of his father's temper in him, and as the case unfolds, she realizes that he's hiding more than she thought. So yeah, I'm super excited about this one, especially like being a mom. I love stories about creepy children. I love it. Then we have The Paris Agreement by Lucy Foley. I actually started this book in 2022, but I couldn't get into it because I was doing the audiobook, and then like there was so many different points of views and I got confused as to like who was who. Like, if you missed the first part of the chapter where it says, for example, like Suhail, John, like where it says who is talking, then you don't know who's talking. It was hard to keep up with the characters through audiobook, so I'm gonna have to read this like in a paper copy. Then I have Grady Hendrix. I have read My Best Friend's Exorcism for him, and then I have now The Final Girl Support Group, and then I have the Southern's Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires. I actually am halfway through this book and I stopped reading it. I put it like in my will finish later shelf. It was really good. I was just like not in the mood for it. And then this one, I have heard good and bad things about this one, so I'm just gonna give it a chance to see where I stand. Then I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. This book, I feel like there's like a love-hate relationship for this book online. Like, I don't know if people love it or hate it. I bought it thinking I was gonna love it, and then the ratings came out and not everyone loved it, so I was like and then I put it like in the back burner. So then I saw Mel Reed's I'll insert her channel here. She said that if you have the mentality like you're not gonna have enough time in your life to do everything that you want to do, this will be a good story for you. And if that doesn't describe me, like I feel like my biggest fear in life is dying without like going to Europe, or like dying without, I don't know, like I feel like that's it, like traveling. I feel like traveling is my biggest like dream, like travel the world. So if I die without traveling the world, I feel like that's gonna be heartbreaking for me, and I feel like this book is gonna help me come to terms with it if I don't do that, you know. Then I have Violeta by Isabel Allende. I actually have this book on audiobook, and I think I will read it on audiobook, but it's basically like a historical, I don't know if it's a historical romance or it's just like a history, like historical fiction, but basically it takes place from 1920 to like the 2020 panini. Can we say pandemic? Anyways, this one is in Spanish, so that's one thing I want to do more this year, read more in Spanish, but make sure that there's like obviously like an English version so you guys can check it out if you want. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and are excited about what's coming. Make sure you stay tuned because I will also be uploading a video about my most anticipated releases. So these are the books, like you just saw the books that are already out. I'm going to be also talking about the books that are going to be released in 2023 that I'm excited about. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, and yeah, I will see you in my next video.